Masemi bi emfa ema media wadama na wodi wani atremu ewo KASE3 Ghana Limited yenti wonso betumi esida no danchin akelele clothing kelele womo so eso ya sempa ebre ko ni mu no yade womo numbers no so ebetudwa ede amawe semni bia wo betie ene semra shebedwam chame hene nra woto ne nsa frem penifo so womo mehia no wode bote etechire no atudwa
Enya wa mashebedafo abramoko pie mu ne de ensem dodo na ne koso na bi ene se dom kuma no aboni monyamfo mahama yariga abasu ye papa asanso amanyo oba foforo no so akwa aba wodwumedi mba bedini na emu
enkontabu aba mountain so where the fa aye gold border ho se kasunsuno no wo mu abon monyamfo afenyo market na no tu mu bie ya ora sameja mfinso aka na afamu de me na wokasai de woni monyamfo afenyo ekyerese wasama no
me na wokasai so monyamfo James Zagalga wodi nsema tudwa wachemu se mpemprende dom kwese ni na no magina tuma mpemprende wabebo adwuma no edi aboa wo mo
ensempi no akade aboboso yi eho enawe ya jebre ede asoma pesemaka 4 ya de hye se mampo hene na bomu papa bi eye me motofa bohema abena foku ye bo amene
nana aba echeba afi jebre na yenhye ensem no ase emfa emawo
Mothers FM 102.7
Eni chebi ena ebeto ja efri ayemra shebedwam chame hene ora urban sama na Kingsford Backben eho se empenimfo a wono mehyem nsamra shebedwa fiefo ya na akwakoba ne se wo mu nkoma homigye mu kakra no wo sanso ato ne nsade afro na chese empofri mu a wo mu aba behia enaba esenum ye no efiti ase eye enrada eno ema wo mu de ose yoyo ma enrada no empenimfo kobo anan ewo man Ghana yemra shebedwa fie na ye nyina nso ye nimsem se wo mu koye no echerepa yi ansam na womutumi akọ asetena esanse na nchemu chese binum fre chichi ni bencheye ena eba ebra wonu motena ase no apena mrashebedwam chame hene yera abansoma na Kingsford Backben wo chirechire mo se adabraka ne akwa akosie ene so wo hɔ a ena wonya ne ntie efri eye Ghana mampani gonja de sha wotijata ngoma so de pressure de His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na kache ho eba ya ni nyina mu no wode bebeda no se na dama eniama ba ku mienu bi akachire wo se wo mo betna se no mo betwe ho dare edebo wo mo esanse so bebre no eba beto so ebe hadwene pa eye eno eda nchen a watumi abobo mpanimfo bi din se adaroma wo mo emehwe asoya hodo ni bi so emfa emaye wo man Ghana emu ebi ene Dr. Zanet Rollins Ajemanya wo no wo bueremo wo atna ya abodi mu nyansapani fidibo asoya ho nso sasanso ena yewura eye Mahama yalega ya wo no nso so a ena edom kese wodi wonom animu wo no nso so yede na kwa akowura eye asoya wo mo ehwe enkronkuma empuntu eso na fenso yade won monyamfo James Agaga so ababe hyemu sedom kese wo ma meye wo mo ba no dani emfa enum wo mo na chese mampani aye ni seidi a etwase ma hyebedwa fiefo wo mo ekokohia na wo mototo wo ma no mutumi ji wo mutuma sampo na wo matumi afiti wo mudwumadie asenti ni nyina emudie na akwakoba ne se enema bebre wo echenti wo se wo mu hia no nti ena oto ne nsa ede frɛ ye mpanimfo yi
Mothers FM 102.7
Yeguso ya hwese yensa enso ebeka eyemra shebedwam chame hene ora urban sama na Kingsford Backben nsem no ya wodi tudwa enrada ebra empanifoi ekokohia yesene ebe yebebo na yenyina ayaso atumi atie bi yenko na afa yenkotie ensem wodi tudwa ewo emra shebedwa fie.
His Excellency drew my attention to 3 matters of state which in his assessment are very urgent and require the consideration of Parliament. I'm reading the requests submitted to me, but for the meantime, let me refer to the items mentioned by the President in the request. These are: 1, the consideration of the Banks and Specialized Deposit-Taking Institutions Amendment Bill. 2, the consideration of 2 nominations for appointment as ministers of state. And 3, the consideration of 3 nominations for appointment as justices of the Supreme Court. Upon receipt of the request, I carefully considered the matters placed before me and the reasons advanced for their urgent consideration. The authority conferred upon the Speaker under Order 58.4 of the Standing Orders of Parliament necessarily involves the exercise of judgment and discretion.
Any aye kwakwati aye mrashebedem chamehene ora urban sumana Kingsford Backbend.
Yegusetina mu ewa mrashebe fie dia na me no kase di onmunyamfo Alexander Fanyamakin ena wojina eye apaso na nsem a odi tudwe na se bra o mabeyi de ensem ba kuni mienu bi wo no ma wo ntumi entwa ho na wo ento wo nsem dinya eso ni na kokowe mu se empanifo bi wo ha Ghana Mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama abomudin se wo de eye asoye foforo ena e hye wo nsa se wo konkodi dwuma emfa emma no na bibie ntumi nkonkan e wo na memumu obi enti se ayonmunyanfo Mahama Ayariga won na pimpin Ghana Mampani aboni din se won kokohwe nkronkumankuma amemu so ahensem ena osom dwumadie mu na won tumi emboa no e won dwumadie a wogi nemu sanso so ena Eraza Neto Ajima Rollins so wadi dwumadie so nko ahye ne nsa so a wakopie mu e wasoye a ehwe eye efemagudie so abodi nyasape ena afensi so ehon tutu nyina no wakakahwe atoto nyama e wo honom e de ama no enti pimpin de munyanfo eye Mahama James Agalga ena baba she na nine said them kase ne ba no deni na no gina simpie so na wo chese wo de tin kwansem ekọ eja mo wura James Agalga awojimedi oba bedi nemo no wo sanso e chese menyafo Mahama Yariga ko wo kwidie e de afepa ena oba fe na wo ne jimedi na mo sanse wo obi a obuo pa de obi pa e de ma no sanso so ena wura James Agalga wo be wo sanso e ma no akwaba.
Speaker, we congratulate our colleague Honorable James Agalga on his elevation to the high office of Majority Leader. He brings to that office many years of experience at the bar and in this chamber. We hope he will use that experience to address, through sound national policy, the bread and butter issues that matter to the Ghanaian people. This minority stands ready to engage him in that spirit, firmly but fairly. We also extend our commendation to the outgoing Majority Leader, my respected senior at the bar, Mahama Ayariga, on his nomination as Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. We look forward to critically examining that nomination fearlessly at the appointment committee. We hope he arrives at that ministry equipped to confront the filth that has overtaken our cities and towns. Fill this ministry hole squarely at the door of government for failing to enact a sanitation policy. Speaker, personally, I am filled with nostalgia. This is a man I've always respected, and I'll dearly miss him in our usual banter on this house floor.
Now, for Alexander Fanyamakin and the Siape, and Adam Kessan about the Denny Pimpin, the Winyanko, Gusua, Adam Kessan Ban Denny, when for Mahama Ayariga, and the and some two HSA, ba AS or my bay, I speak out to start from some Mamet Nassano, and then 5 days pay and no Metnase, a DM Comono, Nanya Sefate be and to me and come, send yes, send Nefata, Naman Penny, anybody who know the show, Musano, to me, Abbe Munyamuno was also a Kalman for Alexander Fanyamakin say, Winyanko, Ugusua, don't case and never did Besum, Copim say or Bessanso, our court vetin, no Bibia, Abadae, and Akwa Juma, Sell Swafwa, or Shane Kunku, Amemumu, I assume and I feel I him so or my Ganimasi.
Items before us relate to the passage of an important financial bill and the consideration of nomination of two of us, your colleagues, to join the executive arm of government. Mr. Speaker, we also have, as you have indicated, the consideration of 3 nominees to the Supreme Court. I want to assure colleagues that we will work together to consider the nominations within the time frame of 5 sitting days, which the Speaker has indicated. To meet this deadline, we will be required to suspend a number of standing orders.
From Mahama Ayarga, Nene Edikoti.
Eni chebi ena NPP osono kese amanyonko na chese edom kuma ya wonum wo man Ghana yemra hwebe de fie esore waka e kan sem bebre edefa eye reporter hodo a every IMF ho ene adeade aba ededi pefe chese gold board for wo matumi abo ekasunsuro mbe se 1.7 billion ewo bruni sika dollar no emu na wo mo fanchire mumra ene wo mo atutu ne sani abasa se yewura sameje mfo mra na o meyi nsem na o mechirechire mu yentu ensam fe no kra wa mra shebe fie na wonfa nchire mu ne mra na eno mu na ne nsaka akwanya no kopie mu ewo nkontabu abanya ni mu na ofa asasi mpani apa no akro no aso kase asemwe ya wo mu ken kra de chese wote ase a wonwene ho odwene ho so wonte ase o kan ne obeka ewi ase na ode subo bi ebo onimanyamfo afenwoma kense ya da mo no so emre bia na etwa mu di bre bia na ekura no akwa akoba ne seketa hwehwe bi efa ne nsase sikasema hodo ne adeade ema asem no ayedodo na yem hwehwe pa na enrada oman Ghana yemra hwebe fie wo mu ko asetena no ape na edom kuma ba no dani yewra afenwoma ke na futu hono a wo mu mra hwebe dwani na wo chechire mu se sansem no aba monten so ne de emprempre ye woni ye kase de wasaman yewra samejemfi ya asem no ekwa kopie mu ewo empanifo anim na omde agina emra no anim na fe so de twato no wo se wa ye krado pa se hwehwe mu bi ye bekoso se ye befre no se ye betoto na no se odi nchire mu beba ye bibisa ne bibi obeyi ano de ono kra de wo atami twuku twen sada no.
In the face of the allegations of extortion leveled against me, I have chosen to take high moral ground by submitting myself to the processes of the law. I have accordingly caused writs to be filed in suit number GT 1029/2026, entitled Osahin Alexander Afenyomakin versus Samuel Edujem Fi and Multimedia Group Limited at the Accra High Court, and suit number GR/AC/CC/C5/02/2026.
Kwatie eye onimonyamfo Osahin Afenyomakin na eno echie na edom kese ba no dani ame no kase wono na obeja na adwa honom ama onimonyamfo James Agaga enso abefro na osi o ne nsem wodi tudwa enyina ne se ewo mu se enkontabu aba monten so ya reporter hodo na di HSA gold board for any Bank of Ghana ne ade kesunsuro bi aba ne nso no wosi ne nyina mu no eno enso kra asanso kire pa ye ewo nside no esanse nside no agina na so premium memu nsem ekoye nkontabuo agina na so premium na enye nsrepede na kyese sa ye ka na omo ka ho asem no kra no ehemfa pote no mo agina so kra ede aka sa asem no na emom no no de wose wono ene na pamfo de se omugina sa mpanimfo ya chi se etwe a eni.
Gold board is running losses. Even as they repeat the mantra that gold board is running losses, they are not in the same press conferences saying that as a result of the alleged loss of gold board, your city is now stronger than it was when MPP was in office. We are not also telling Ghanaians that as a result of the so-called losses of gold board, your inflation is stable. We are not telling Ghanaians that as a result of the so-called losses of gold board, we are paying our debts and we are being graded very highly by all the international rating agencies. So you may describe it as gold board losses, but we see it as an innovative national fiscal monetary policy that is stabilizing our currency, that is making our economy stronger, that is going to alleviate the poverty of many Ghanaians. And so we stand strongly behind Gold Board and the management of Gold Board.
Sema ye kwakotie ye na chese ye gina sori dem wanka obeti wetu ya maka nyina mame nanso utimi hu say yase ya boka nanso no eka bia na yededede na emene ye no yetumi atiti mama sidi no kura gina nanso premena say eka no kura anya ka eno ede oha bebre no ebre nsem ekokotie ye onimanya for Mahama Yarega ene kan ye
Ewusafu ekusearch na mu ewa mrashe beje fie hono makra na chese emprempren dom kese ne ba ne deni foforo kra wo ba bedi wo mu anim emunyanfo James Galga wo mrashe beje mamanfo wo mu ewa Busa North na we en empren nan so a wakwa akopie mu ewa we mrashe beje fie ede esom ne manfo ente ya bonye din ne die na etwa se eye emra kwan so no yetumi ede kwakwa kire empanimfo me chese dom kese na etumi hia na eye NDC amane ko mpanimfo chinye kase openye wedi omanim no eda na di ade kire o se owura yi ana mpempe o mahye be fie oba bedi yeso anase yeku no ano ama bibie tumi akọ enkan ede amayen na wo chemu se ansa na wasa jumedi na akoso no ade onmenyan for right honorable Alban Sumana Kensok Backben edi nkan boni din wo chese ne de anhyeda entwa kwan mu na wo se yetumi ede ko kire ansa na ya boni din na mpempe de wo ka akogosi se owura fiave kwete general secretary Edema NDC amanyuko no edisa adwuma no kama na eyade wono ene owura Mahama Yarega ene ede omunyi na edi ede kire se wei ena efri so ama wei aba sa adwumedi no ayekra behye.
Today the general secretary of my party Honorable Fifi Kwete met with the majority caucus and formally introduced me to the caucus as the one chosen to replace Honorable Mahama Yarega, who is now the Minister for Local Government and Religious Affairs ministerial nominee. But the issue is that he hasn't been vetted yet. So in line with our practice, over the period, we want to vet him. And once he's given the nod, officially he would step aside, make his concluding statement before the House, introduce me, and then at that point, I can now step into his shoes. There should be some sort of ceremony, but the point is I have been formally introduced to my caucus, and the caucus overwhelmingly endorsed the choice of our party.
Ora James Agaga ne enekoti ne wan fancy hon ma wasa to aso bia mu kire se abra ye dan na di e kire se owura yi na babadi enim no hwe ne fa eye se ye bedina betina fa akọ na se bibi bia tumi akọ nkan se wodo onwadon na ye wo mu kire wodo ani so ekenka bom e kire na se emprempren wo mu nyina eta na chi aka che ne se adwuma no won konkon ne se ne se na fa tentim prempren de ne wakenya ne se ne ni aso senya edom kese ni na ata ne ji so that
has been my political trajectory, let me put it that way. It hasn't been easy, but with the support of my constituents, I think that a lot of confidence has been reposed in me, even my party in parliament, because throughout the period, President Mahama was very gracious by making me Deputy Minister of the Interior at the very first instance when I entered Parliament. Then when we lost for 8 good years, I was ranking member for the Defense and Interior Committee. I performed oversight of 3 ministries: the Defense Ministry, the Interior Ministry, and the now defunct National Security Ministry. Of course, when we won power, the National Security Ministry was scrapped, so I continued to perform oversight this time around as chairman of the same committee, Defense and Interior, as chairman, as opposed to the ranking role I played when we were in opposition.
Mothers FM 102.7.
Manya for James Agaga, Mashewe de Mamma for Womo Busa North, Onukuya, and Ababaye, Dom Kess and the Banidini, Ewo, Mashe Bidufi.
Eku amre bia etwa mu aban no ete yes dwumako na wo mu emetna senya dwuma wadre emfamo efomagudie tu asoye no na chese ba ne se efomagudie tu ho eniama mpempena de sika kwakwa apia bo ne de nchemmo ne ne ekeka ho de a wo mu betumi atena se atoto ho eniama ho hyehyɛ yede ene ho tutuye bia betumi aboa oman ne nkan kro enso so ewosa efa no wo mu a meka edetire eye Minerals Commission for na ebri mu de wo mu de omani atwem wa asante mantam na ekopon komanse mu atena ye fefefe ena wo mu akotwa nhoma mu ewo honom atie roba wo mu bedi wo mu dwumason enso ewo ehonom ya asoya ehwe ye nsa ase ne odoma nkoma ne pa wode adom yeso enam so ne wo mu akabachire mu edi sa adwumai na bra wo mu twa nhoma ne mu ewie ya pe ena yesofo abedi atire ye ohwe ye nsa ase ne odoma nkoma ne pa wode adom ye eso onimonyamfo Yusuf Suleiman na wo begine mu edema yesofo no ankasa onimonyamfo Emmanuel Amakofiboa nensama wo kire nyina ne se sa de ya wo mo aye eso mfasodie bi ene se ebeben manfo ebeben bebi o mutu efomagudie ene etimemfo ne ade o munyina so so yeku ahodo a ehye wo mo asoye no ase we ya ade a eba beboa wo mo enkan kropa.
I bring you warm greetings and blessings from my bosses, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Honorable Emmanuel Amakofiboa, who is the sector minister. This movement is not merely about inauguration ceremony. It is a bold and tangible testament to our collective resolve to reset and transform the governance of Ghana's mineral resources. You will agree with me that for over 40 years, the services of the Minerals Commission have been centralized in Accra, which created significant inefficiencies, compelling stakeholders from across the country to travel long distances all the way to access regulatory services. I am happy to announce that today we have changed that narrative decisively. We have repeatedly mentioned that if we are going to come to the grips with mining, which contributes significantly to the national economy, then the Minerals Commission must have the requisite structure, personnel, and operational capacity to regulate.
And Chief Executive Officer Edema Minerals Commission for Isaac Tando and so Edenedie Etwaso.
Particularly significant feature of this block is that it will become the designated center for the Inspectorate Division license examinations. This decentralization of examination services will reduce costs, save time, and ensure that the licensing process is more accessible to all qualified Ghanaians in the mining sector. Two-story laboratory building will complete the office block by providing specialized technical facilities.
No, and penny quantra for ya or that Ghana Chamber of Mines, and would Monyam for Kenneth Ashibe, and so HS way a dear dem for so dear bebre addition any abino and cancan and your umbe fasumpo abrabra galamsi and so ano.
On the commissioning of the significant 8-story regional office complex in Kumasi, this landmark achievement is a great one, and the chamber commends the commission, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and the government for this bold demonstration of commitment to the mining sector.
102.7.
Yegu search na mu our commissioning ya ase say wa santimantem de na soafo a wo santimantem Dr. Frank Amwakohene wono so kopie mu e dwumadie no ase na wo de ensem atu dwade a wo twere mu say ade a wo bepie mu e wo santimantem de a bro na hodo agalamse dodo na koso no de esan amna donko agalamse yi aba betija atoto ekroni mu no amani padodo na ananam so ahwere wo mu enkwa wo betumi aka say nipa na baye eduenu miensa ena ahwere wo mu enkwa emu edu ba akode wo mu eye emofra ena wo mu ahwere wo mu enkwa watwemu se eye emu no edu enkron 19 ena mo nsetumi aka imprempren a wo mayi wo mu fiasase na se ne mu 9 de besi enne wo mu ntumi enyi ya ni na no akwakoye arehosem eni nti wo sere se amanfo ebetumi amamani akon ye papa enda nchen so a eye mpanyufo a wo mu wo eye asoye a ehwe efemagudie tuo ena finsa se honsem so enso ebeba anama behwe na ensase nyina na eye saa amune ewo so no yetumi ahwe esiesie sine be ya ensa so nkofa oyenei ema meto wo mu ekomu ewo asante mantem emu
Matters FM 102.7.
Ewusiafo yento asem ne so wa pomodimu ensensem adia SD asafo ya wono ewo krapa mensinu emu ede enenum ejumedie esi ho ya pomodin ejumedie na eno ase na eye openikasi ba ko ya oye consultant nephrologist ewo Konfanochi Teaching Hospital osanso so ebo ejuma bitibiti ewo eye KNUST School of Medicine enso so ewo ho no mo ni nyina eye apomodin kwanso ehye de oye associate professor Nidini Elliot Cranton Tunnel wadi afutu akodi amagana fo nyina se yadama ade ba akọ yani nkọ ho yen sabo emu yade enso so ti atese enti brano yenhwe se yebecheke.
Realize that here in Ghana about 13 out of 100 people have kidney disease, and if we are probably to repeat this study, it might even be more, but nonetheless you and I can prevent kidney disease largely. My first advice will be, if you are 18 years and above, don't wait for symptoms. Just go and check your kidney function, because a lot of people will come with kidney failure, or a lot of people will come with kidney disease, and they might not even have any symptoms until it develops kidney failure. And that is why you need to prevent it earlier. But you can only prevent what you know. I don't know what risk factors you have, but there are quite a lot of risk factors.
Na say prevention is better than cure. Now, we didn't assemble every year and a wood to for say, ya, hondo do ya, you will feel higher, ya will chip when she was a bonia de, then your painkiller, ya rene dre, was say, no, ya dear, and also can't be, and a kidney no, a home a touchma.
Matters FM 102.7.
Ewusiafo yebechina so na ye de Abadae KASE nyina asi ade ama na so ansa ne ye kro no ye fa asida ema kelele clothings kelele ahana chese omu ena omu elbru mu donko bra be pam wonta de se wo pe Indian for womu lini bi papa womu ewo bi womu ewo lace ho Italian cashmere nini na ewo bi ho no ma wo betumi apempam agbada na wo pe Cabernet slit bubu de na wo pe nini na no wo mehwe esiesie kama wo mechi kwan ewo North Kaneshi Dimod bus stop ho ena bi kelele clothing wo mo number obetumi afre wo mo ewo so 0541